In this pump episode, guys, over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has pumped over $200 US, but as my ex-girlfriend always used to say, is that it? Unbelievable. Maybe if you didn't drink all my vitamin juice, I'd have a little bit more energy. Guys, we're going to be taking a look at some short-term charts because there's some very clear bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart, which could push us slightly below for a retest on these smaller time frames in the next day or two. However, this upward momentum seems to be continuing, so we're going to be delving into that as well. Wow, and now for the third day in a row, we're going to be talking about this excellent inverse pattern. Guys, so far, this has been a parabolic curve upwards, very similar to the exact opposite of this fractal back in the summer of last year. And as you can see here, it is curving up a little more parabolic than we have plotted. However, could this actually be the doorway to breaking 13 and 14,000 US dollars per Bitcoin? This is step number 4. 1, 2, and 3 are complete, and we're going to be diving into that as well. And yet another green day so far for the S&P, continuing its uptrend. And guys, as long as the S&P is going up, then Bitcoin will not be dragged down with it. But again, we need to be watching this because if this bad boy would drop down to $3,000, you bet your booty, Bitcoin would be plummeting to oblivion. And as well, we got to take a look at Ethereum because there's some interesting things shaping up with that. And finally, Willy Woo saying there's actually little chance of a catastrophic Bitcoin price dump, meaning he believes we've already seen the worst of it. So we're going to be analyzing that and going into detail with that as well. Wow, welcome back, Sporty Squadron. You know what they say, if you're not going to last, you might as well enjoy the blast. Guys, we have a lot to delve into with Bitcoin's price. Specifically, we're still entering the short-term uptrend, which is very interesting to see. Okay, I would love to see Bitcoin absolutely break out here, 12, 13, 14,000, because I'll tell you one reason why I want that. Because I would be making a lot of money. And if there's one thing I like, it's making money. And I think that goes for literally every absolute savage watching this webisode. So guys, huge, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on those post notifications. You get updated when we upload. Our video yesterday was actually shadow banned the first hour and a half until I spoke to somebody at YouTube and they fixed that, but nobody saw it the first hour and a half unless you were subscribed. It's hard to get new subscribers when the only people that can see a video are your subscribers. Wow, and we are going to be picking a winner for this Schledger at the end of this webisode, guys. So as always, make sure to leave a comment below to enter for those giveaways. And in the comments below, maybe give me your thoughts on the S&P or traditional stocks and the correlation to Bitcoin and what you think is going to be coming over the next 2 months. Do you think our economy is on a good trajectory? Or do you think we're on the brink of imminent catastrophe? Wowee! So looking at this weekly chart, still continuing a very nice bounce off this 21 week, which we love to see. But more importantly, let's take a look at this smaller time frame. We have the hourly chart here, and we see some very clear bearish divergence with the price going very vertical here in terms of the highs and the RSI trending downwards. So regular bearish divergence on the 1 hour. And this could lend itself perfectly to maybe getting a test to 10.6, right? This is the 1 hour, so it's not very strong. So if we did get a pullback to cement the 10.6 right about here, as we've been mentioning, right about 10.6 even before continuing upward, that could also cement some very bullish momentum to the upside. But guys, I want to take a look at a huge level of resistance I think we have to the upside that'll be very big if we break. So for one, on this 4 hour chart, we have this moving average, which is right about 11,200, which is also basically right where this 7-year crucial support line is. Okay, so 11,200, but 11,200 also lines up with this. It's right where this 50-day moving average is for Bitcoin, and as well, it's where we were holding for support before we broke down below 10,000 and basically out of this very bullish pattern, right? So 11,200 I think will be significant resistance. If we break that, that'll be huge. But something that was happening last night, I was watching the charts, and as you can see, we talked about this yesterday, and that's exactly what's happening in terms of resistance right here, is this, the 21-day moving average right here, providing resistance. So you can see that right about 10,800, and that's where we're facing some initial resistance there. Very important to flip to get really short-term bullish there, to provide, to get support there on this moving average. But again, I think we are going to face a lot of resistance in this whole zone completely. But guys, if we zoom out, the pattern that we've been talking about for a few days now does continue. It's actually pretty nuts because it's actually looking pretty healthy. So quick rundown, basically what we had was a bearish triangle and then a BART that broke down and then back up to exactly where it was before. It broke bearish there. And then we had a bullish cross that reversed bearish. And guys, we have the exact opposite now, where we have a bullish triangle and then we have a BART that reverses exactly back down to where it was before the breakout, and then we have a bearish cross, but instead of a bearish continuation, we actually move up in a bullish pattern. So the exact inverse of this pattern back in the summer of 2019. And so, yeah, as we've been talking about for a few days, this is actually playing out. Again, I'm kind of surprised that it's going as vertical so far, but I really want to be cautious here because, again, we really need to pay attention to this price action. Don't want to get overexcited and overexuberant yet. And especially, we have to realize that one of the reasons this is happening is just because also traditional stocks are on an upswing, right? They're going up. So, for example, if the S&P would come down to test this support level around 3,300 US dollars, guys, I don't think Bitcoin would be trading above 10,006 or 10,008 or even approaching 11K, right? Unfortunately. So we need to be aware of that. If that would happen, we would need to realize that Bitcoin probably is not going to continue to pump. But something I also do find interesting is that as Bitcoin usually starts real rallies, a lot of the Bitcoin dominance begins increasing and a lot of the money just basically flows into Bitcoin, and altcoins don't pump at the immediate short term, right? There's usually a delay where if Bitcoin actually goes on a substantial run, a lot of the altcoins wait a little bit. And the two alts that we're looking at here, Ethereum, obviously we got this bearish cross we talked about for the last 2 days here. And Ethereum's getting pushed below the 370 level still, so it's being held down by this, but still maintaining this key support. Again, lowest support that we're watching is still like slightly under 300, around 290 to 280. But so far, holding on decently, but in the short term, we need to be watching this. And especially, guys, Link, actually now significantly below its 50-day and 21-day. And as we said, we're getting that exact same repeat of that bearish cross, just more delayed. Happened to Bitcoin first, then we got it Ethereum yesterday, and we're going to get it with Chainlink most likely within the next 24 hours, right? So again, it's all just kind of trickling down to a lot of these other cryptos. But most importantly for Link, we're actually holding on this key line right about $11, which is a key ascending support. So Chainlink has been in this channel for the past 3 years. So this is a very important channel that I'm watching for Chainlink's macro price, and holding this level is important. If we break this, then I think it's very likely we'll actually go under $9 for Chainlink's price. So we want to be watching that. But again, Bitcoin dictates it all. But even bigger than that, the stock market has been more influential and dictates more of the price than we would have thought. Very big. So that's what I'm watching for that. I gave you my resistance levels to the upside that I think are going to be very key here. And as well, if we came back down to test 10.6, that wouldn't necessarily be bearish. I know a lot of people would think, oh great, the entire run is over. Even though this is only like a 2-day run of a couple $100, we're at a very key level after exiting such minimal volatility that this is important. This is very crucial, even though the price is only up a few $100s, right? Percentage-wise, we're not really up that much, but we're in such a key level on these macro charts that it's very important to watch what Bitcoin is doing and how it reacts here. And as well, you guys, Cointelegraph's William Suberg, do not expect another Bitcoin price catastrophic dump, says Willy Hu. Bitcoin's macro landscape is making current price levels look like good buy-in. He suggests stacking, or support is stacking at 9,600. So what he says here, another impulse of coins changing hands is completed. The next directional move over the coming weeks is likely upwards, he says. And in the midterm, which I would say is, a few weeks to, 2 to 3 months down the road is what I consider midterm. I 100% do agree with that. I think, I've always thought by the end of this year, we're going to have some nice upswings. And the current consolidation we're in now is not going to last until December of this year, right? It's much more short term. But he says here, it's very unlikely we'll see any kind of catastrophic dump in price here. Again, take that for what it is. Be careful. It's his opinion. Nobody knows. That's the one thing you got to learn. Nobody can predict the price day to day, right? I'm still cautious of another short-term dump to fill the gap, but so far it's looking like it's been front run for liquidity, which is strongly bullish if we break resistance here. The time is right for Bitcoin to follow historical precedent and launch towards 100,000 US dollars. Plan B says in accordance with his stock to flow forecasting model. And as well, network fundamentals support long-term strength, continuing with the hash rate reaching all-time highs and difficulty set to follow this week. Willy Woo agrees, noting Bitcoin's difficult behavior is decidedly on the bullish rather than the bearish side. And you see the difficulty ribbon here, guys. So let's pick the winner for this Schwebisode. Okay, get comments here. And if you guys are outside of the country, I'm going to send you Bitcoin because it'll take me 3 weeks, or it'll take you like 2 to 3 weeks to get it. And I have to fill out a lot of paperwork for international shipping, so I'll just send you a nice chunk of Bitcoin. So Nassim Vincent, love you, he says. Very nice, brother. So make sure to shoot me an email, and we can actually get you that ledger. Also, make sure to respond to your initial winning comment on YouTube just so I can verify that it's you. because people have tried to just send fake emails, but I always vet them to make sure they're actually who they are. So far, we have not sent out a ledger to the wrong person trying to impersonate somebody just yet. Huge, guys. So make sure to leave in your comments, what do you think about this move? What do you think long term? And guys, if you're interested in trading, make sure to sign up with the links below if you have experience and you want to help support the channel. There have been some very nice trades I can see from my affiliate dashboard. A lot of people with some trading activity in there, guys. So again, if you want to take advantage and if you want to prepare yourself, get your account set up for swings, right? Once you learn to trade, or if you're very good at trading, make sure to use the links below and you get a nice bonus as well.